Is this a modern one? One day ago. "400 corpses." Yeah, let's get some. I mean, the point is, I know it works this way. It's really easy to tell when you go to your hideout and press it, because there's one corpse, and if it was 15%, you would see 15% specters and 85% of the one corpse. But you will always see like 6 or 7 specters and like 4 of those corpses. Like I know it works the way I think it does, but I would just like to have a number that says that, you know, it'd be neat. You always get one? No, you don't always get one. The bit is it's 15% of corpses are not forced. There's a 15% chance that rolls first for it to be a specter.
Is this not even plugged
And
in?
then there's an 85% chance that it's a corpse within the zone. But that can include your specters.
Yo,
Specters,
was my last stream
all
like not
corpses
even
are good.
on? Hello.
Yeah, I mean, the reason
A
they
bug
confuse
or
people,
something.
I looked at this and found the wording before in the 317 patch notes.
Hello.
The exact wording is like, you know, this means there's no incentive to have multiple specters, right? Like that was the exact wording, is no incentive. This means there is no incentive to bring multiple different Hello Specters, but like, you know, I mean, it's not the case. Or we're fairly certain. 15% for each Spectre, it's 15% for a Spectre to exist, and then it'll pick one of your Spectres.
This is
So if you have like one Spectre, it'll always be that one. If you have 5, it'll be 15% to be a Spectre, and then it'll pick one of those 5.
Hello, testing 1 2
15% per
3.
corpse.
Hello.
Yeah. One Spectre, it'll always be that one. If you have 5, it'll be 15% to be
Hello.
a Spectre, and then it'll pick one of those 5.
Testing.
15% per corpse.
I think that was like an echo or something, but I think it should be good. But we're gonna just listen into Ben as we play.
What does that mean? You should load up on Spectres and load them on your pool? Yep.
To 5 specters.
One having more than one is that it increases your chance of getting a Spectre. And it's more impactful in zones that have fewer corpses. You carried 6. Did you verify that all 6 stayed? Because when I tested it, I couldn't get more than 5 to stay in my pool.
No more than 5 in pool.
They stayed in your pool after you went to 1 max? Yeah. What they do. Some definitive statement. Amen. I mean, I've tested it enough that I'm like, I've tested it in zones with single corpses and with multiple, and it's like very apparent. Alright, like just looking at your hideout, like, here's 10 corpses. I see 5? Is that 5 or 4? 4 specters. That's not 15%. That's like fucking 9 specters. That's not 15%. Where are my guys at? Oh, this is the character that only has 3 in the pool. This guy has 5 in the pool. No, this one doesn't. Who does? This is my standard guy. That might be different in the map. Yeah, that's why I also tested it in the Ziri zone, which has 4 corpses. And it was the same thing there. That's what all those numbers are from, is at Ziri. That's literally 4 out of 5 for specters. that 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. They got destroyed by fucking Bone Offering. That's 3 out of 5. Yeah, you get the point. 15% you'd expect to see like one Spectre every other cast. And it's like, I've pressed Desecrate my hideout 1,000 times. It's consistent.
Look at this shit.
All the variants are only one-hit ones.
You got fucking good rings.
It's more important in on-hit, but it's also relevant to Ignite. The thing with Ignite is like once you get a proper Spectre,
it is massive.
Like your Defiled Forces will keep that Ignite forever.
Defiled Forces.
Whereas with hit, like you always need more corpses. It's a little more important for hit, but technically you should do it on both because like it takes like actually 1 minute to set up, and it lasts for your character's entire lifetime.
For the
So it kind of just makes sense. Chico's Alice Planner. I heard about it. I haven't tried it.
If I play DD.
So I just click nodes, and then it'll make the best pathing to make that
Take
work.
some time to
bit.
know exactly what you have to do with the Spectres.
So like here, if I'm like, oh, actually, I want to have this node, it'll fix the whole thing. That's pretty cool. And then I can get rid of it. Oh, and it's like a red thing.
Is
Say
the
don't
bleed
take this node.
one?
I see. 9.5 counters, 50% pop plus 5%, 196 sample size. So yeah, you need like a little more to say like 99%. Yeah. Like the one concern that I had was that hideout due to, so hideout, there's like some weird things with corpses in this game. Some zones, like hideouts, have one corpse. They have Desecrated Bone Stalker. And if you bring in Spectres, Desecrated Bone Stalker still exists, but it like, obviously you get majority Spectres. In some zones like Breachstones and synth maps, Desecrated Bone Stalker stops spawning if you bring in a Spectre, and you only get Spectres. But I'm fairly certain if you don't bring in Spectres at all, you only get Desecrated Bone Stalkers. So there's like different behavior based on different zones. It's a little weird. So there was like some idea that like maybe like the Spectre thing only works in hideouts and Breachstones and stuff where it's very apparent, but it didn't work in other zones. That's why I went to verify it in the Aziri zone for like 10 minutes just to make sure I'm not crazy. But that little sample size of whatever just matched the experience in every other zone so far. So I'm fairly confident in saying that it still works that way.
I think it's gonna be fun.
I feel like that DD change is not super relevant. Like it's like a little easier to see, but only if it
Mark
applies to
Lab is
like
gonna be
literally every
so
system DD in the game.
big.
And there's like 20 different sources. And I feel like they're like some are gonna be missed for sure. Alright, so thinking about mechanics, the idea of this Atlas is Al can go farming mechanics that don't scale with investment like at all. Just speed farming, zooming, very just zooming, not thinking. Which I think
What
almost
is
certainly
this
means we're
fucking
taking Unwavering
thing?
Vision. Well, actually, fuck. Okay, there's one major problem with Betrayal. So, optimal Betrayal strategies required the Sextant to double your intel for safe houses. Sextants are gone. If we don't have that Sextant, it's like way, way, way slower boss spawn rate. I'm going to... Like, are there scarabs for Betrayal? Can we see if there's scarabs for Betrayal? Where's like the picture? I know that there's a picture of scarabs where it lists all of the I guess I can look at the Betrayal rewards. I don't see it on Betrayal Rewards.
I can do Merc Web now, actually.
Thank you.
I want to get to the farm zone though, first.
June. Are these icons added, or is this like, this is part of the tab itself? They're added? So how do they know?
I'm not up to that just yet.
Triple G video? Oh, so like it is an official source? The icon on the scarab? Or that's I guess. I'm too dumb for that. It was in the in-game footage? Okay. Hopefully the intel thing is a scarab, but that does mean that I can't take this. Because like for Betrayal, that scarab, having, the way it worked for the Sextant was every like 6 or 7 maps, you would use the Sextant, one use of the Sextant for one map to double intel from ideally a double stacked safe house to get an instant counter rate to spawn. That was the ideal behavior. So it's like very low like investment because you use it so infrequently. Use double tree for it. Have a second tree just for, I mean, you could. You could.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Different tree.
Still dying. Help. Still infected? Yeah. I'll be back to 100% before they start, but still dying for now. First tree is pre-outs progression. Yeah, the thing is, like, you don't need a tree for that. For the most part. Like, if you spend 0 points in your Atlas tree, your progression up to, like, red maps, it's gonna be pretty normal. Because so much of it is just biomass from Keurig. And, like, you're already running red maps when doing that anyways. Oh, wait, these nodes aren't +1s anymore. Oh, they separated it. They separated it. No. Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. You just go right side. It was so convenient that the good travel nodes had the good notable, and now the good travel nodes have the bad notable. That's a little unfortunate for league start. I don't actually know. Are scouting reports better than 4% Keurig chance? I think scouting reports are better. So you still go left side, I think. We go on the right's better now. Is this Keurig? This Keurig? Yeah, that is true. Both of these had the 1% chance instead of only the left side. Something about the Bone Shatter. Bone Shatter Call to Arms, the keystone is gone, and it's now a support gem that makes it instant and automatic, which means you have to use 1 support gem extra for Ancestral Cry, and often, in a lot of cases, 2, because you have to life tap it, because the mana cost multiplier is way too high, which it is way too high. So that means if you want to keep Ancestral Cry instant, in the worst case scenario where you don't have the mana for it, you have to have like 2 unset rings or like 1 unset ring plus like drop like 1 support gem somewhere else, or you can just not use Ancestral Cry, which for the first 4-5 hours of gameplay, it's not ideal, but once you have +1 strike on your gloves, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter at all. Macros to click buttons doesn't help you at all. The actual keys, like in some cases, that could help you, although it's against TOS and you might get banned. The actual keystone Call to Arms is gone, right? It's just deleted. So you can't make it instant anymore, so does it cast time. So like you can press it still, but it's not instant, and you lose about probably 4-5 seconds per map of like war card cast time, which comes out to like, 2% slower mapping or some shit. Or you could just like use an unset ring and like get rid of like a support gem somewhere. I'm not sure what that would be. I mean, it's kind of a self-stun, but like war cries are pretty fast. It's like 0.4 seconds or some shit. You definitely would not want to left hook it with it not being instant, because then you're gonna randomly like just stop moving. You'd want to press it yourself, or you just use the support gems, or just don't use it at all because
It's
it's
actually
not
one
important.
of the hardest fights. Oh my. Fizzbo.
All right, so what else do we like? I think alpha is 100% included. Like if you're doing these like zoom mapping
So
builds,
how the fuck it fizz?
just building up a stockpile of double corrupts is nice. Like those just appreciate in value of the whole league, and they're just good to have for whenever you need them. So I think alpha is like definitely going to be included. Although I think alpha's kind of different. So definitely always want 4 incursions. This is one of those things where like I'm pretty sure you always want this. There's like some math that kind of shows that having
With incursions,
4 incursions
always
from
have
to 3
4
lowers the odds
incursions.
of an individual temple having your desired rooms by a tiny bit, but you get a full temple 1 map faster, like 33% faster,
Damn.
25 or 33 faster, and like that's definitely worth it. Flesh
That's
Merchant
pretty OP, dude.
is an asshole. Fuck this guy. Like unless you're like T shot and you just one shot him off screen, he just goes invulnerable and stays invulnerable for like 8 seconds. Like what's our alpha chance at?
I'm not up to that just yet.
Yo, am I blind? Where does it? Oh, it's not summoning them. I have to do it myself. Very bottom. Like here I see these.
That will slowed me down.
So this is what, 64, 40, so betrayal's capped. I mean, they're all capped if you take all the points, right? But this one, we're not really close right now. I think I missed a cluster. I know I missed the north cluster. Oh, there's one over here as well. Oh, they added a full extra thing on the left. That's kind of far away. Although, what is that bit with Beyond? So Beyond never had Atlas support before. That was actually like useful. Like you couldn't add Beyond chance to your map in a meaningful way. It was like 10% just static for any map, but it was like so low that you never cared about it. Can you actually hit 100% now on Beyond? That's a lot of points. You can? That is so sick. Although Beyond...
Allow your wisdom to be tempered by the flames.
That's a small number, Sarge. That's about what I expected. You have any use for tainted currency? Yeah, so tainted fusings are definitely like I think last week they stayed like half a divine in hardcore trade like forever. So like, and another benefit, betrayal being gone means that fossil or quality and uniques is, I mean, how do you even do it? Like say a 4th Val drops. You can't make it more than 20 quality without corrupting it, right? Does the beast still exist for 30 quality things and making it corrupted? Okay, it does. At least it does now, unless they remove the next patch. So if your only objective is to get quality, does this work on armor and weapons only? Okay. So like you can still do that if your only goal is to make quality. But everything that's getting double corrupted and whatnot, of course, has to be tamed, currencied. That's what you get off colors now with beyond currency. That's scary though, because like the flexibility of being able to like change implicits and crafted mods and all that, you know. Or if it'll work on Flash next patch, I doubt it. It'd be cool if it did, but I doubt it. All right, so beyond is one of those things where like once if you were doing this kind of Atlas a week into a league, 100% beyond is included. But in a league start environment where you're just like trying to farm fast content, you're so dead. You can't league start on like fast builds and beyond. You're just so dead. Beyond is like, especially if these guys get juiced by the haunted monsters, you're nah, that's not for me.
Beyond juice.
Still a FUB gun. He's super dead, and he's gonna die a lot, and that's okay. You don't think Haunt's gonna have elite content? Dude, I hope that's the way it works. I hope haunted mechanics can only go on base monsters. Because like one of the biggest issues with these like random fucking demons that exist in our maps is like league content that has higher base stats due to being league content will get scaled by league content that empowers monsters with higher base stats because it's league content. The thing stacks with like another mechanic like that, where it's like all like two different things that are multiplying stats are applying to each other, and then it just like gets insane. It's when you have like a delirium essence ghosted monster that has affliction, while it's like I don't fucking like, just all these like random stuff. It's like when things get stupid, like anti-yellow beast too, because why not? It's when all of the mechanics like stack and all these multipliers stack and you just explode.
Go with
And more importantly, the monster doesn't explode; it's invulnerable. Physical is cold. Reduced aura. No bro, pack puts in the craziest maps. Although this is a bonus map, right?
Chaos res.
Yep.
Lightning damage.
Bonk.
Pretty
102.
cool, actually.
Or he actually
Okay,
killed
so
it too. He already killed it and it respawns as a soul operation. Like it was up there on the top left. And it just now died. It's only hasted. That's not even any archgem damage mods. It's just physical is extra, and then like reduced extra, or reduced aura effect. And then 4K life, and he's probably like lucky suppress right now, and I think that's a spell, so bonk. Bonk. You have died. Yeah, Beyond is terrifying. Beyond is absolutely terrifying.
I can get frenzy somewhere.
I'm not doing map trials.
Where's our fucking Trinity?
I wonder about essences. Like, essences are definitely... Like, you're gonna get fewer essences than you did before. But they're probably still just as good. Because that'll just mean they cost more, right? Need scarabs now? Yeah, it's possible that you'll actually need to invest. You always get a max one? Yeah, but like that just means you always get at least one shrieking. Whereas before, everything was +1, which usually meant your average essence number was like 4. Maybe like 2. Because it got doubled as well, often. Get more shrieking. I'm just seeing the difference in nodes, I'm 99.9% certain you're going to get fewer streaking essences than you did before if you're doing no investment essence. Because before you had global +1, which made all screaming streaking, and then all streakings were doubled. Which meant that like the average essence in a random T16 with like no sextant or any weird shit, like just the points in the tree, the average essence probably had at least 2 streakings on it. Or like when you opened an essence, the average outcome was 2 streakings because of the doubling. Whereas this is like guaranteed, you always will have 1 streaking, but I guess technically they can naturally roll streaking now, and we don't really know the chances. Because before, they could only roll screaming and you had to +1 them to get streaking, but now they can roll streaking. If the weighting is, if the chance of a streaking in 324 is the same chance of a screaming in 323, then yeah, like we're gonna be chilling. But I guess that's just not my intuition. But maybe it should be, I don't know. Also for DD players in particular, or not just DD, any fire build in particular, or build that had pops, essences are now harder because the cloned essence has always been bugged, and it had less life by about half than the base one. So with things like Infernal Cry or like Obliteration Pops or DD, as soon as the cloned one died, the main one died, so they just died twice as fast. And that's gone, because there's no more cloned one that's bugged and has
I
HP.
died from that shit, dude.
You don't need to corrupt him anymore?
Holy.
Don't you just not spec this node and still corrupt them?
Dumb as you seem.
Like, my understanding of this node is it's bad.
Sounds
Like,
bad.
the
I don't
chance of
even understand what
upgrading
it does.
the other essences for the one you want is identical to the one you want being replaced with a bad one. So, like, if you do this and you corrupt it 1,000 times, the expected outcome is you lose 1,000 remnants, right? I need to think about that more. Like Competition Gamble. No, so it definitely gives you more of what you're targeting over time. Like, let's say every essence you open. Wait. More thinking.
We're thinking.
Does it not? It changes the tiers? Yeah, I think it will. Okay, no, it doesn't. Right? Like, let's say there's 1 Shrieking of Loathing and there's 3 Whispering of Greed. It's just absolute worthless garbage. And you click it 4 times.
Who wins?
3 times, you're losing the Shrieking, and then on the 4th time, you're getting 4 Shriekings, right? So, like, over a long sample, the only expected outcome is you just lose remnants. Before you got 1 good essence every time, now you get 4 good ones every 4th time you open one up. Yeah.
Be careful. Bye. You killed.
Doesn't that always average out to being like it over a long enough sample size? It's always like the remnant proportion is always just even, except losing remnants, right? Obviously, like granting a random essence modifier to the map boss, I'm going to hope that also means it drops the essence. And it might. So I think that exact text is in Valdo maps too. Has anyone ran a Valdo map? Because I saw a clip of that guy getting Envy Essence through a wall and got killed. Or it pulled him out of an ultimatum and it failed. But like, did that monster drop an Envy Essence when it killed it? Because if it's only the modifiers, it might not drop the essence.
This guy's going off, dude.
Like, it's very possible. It says against the effect, not the modifiers. It uses the word effect, not the word modifier. Yeah, I'll wait until we see what this is. My first interpretation of this is that this is just a gambler's, like, joy. And that's kind of it. It's just, like, if you like gambling, cool. But, like, it's... My first interpretation is that it's just not worth it. Because, like, the default behavior of Remnants of Corruption is good. Well, actually, wait, is it? It used to be good because of duplicating. Is it still good? I think it's still good. Purple ones? Oh, it's definitely still good for purple ones. It's true, yeah. But for, like let's say you have Shrieking of Loathing and Screaming of Greed. Before, like, yeah, you send it. Because, like, if it upgrades, you still have the Shrieking for the double. And then you have Deafening, and that's good. If it changes, it retains tiers, so it might still be good, but that's usually not ideal. If it adds, that's good, and if it does the other 1 and 4, it's irrelevant. So it's like, the outcomes, the worst outcome is it changes, and then it changes to lower value essences. But it's still Shrieking, so it's like not a total loss. And the Deafening upgrade, it depends on the value. And also depends on the cost. Like, obviously for the purple essences that turn into Hysteria and Envy, and Hysteria and like Horror and whatnot, like you're gonna corrupt those. But for the scenario where it's like 1 Screaming, 1 Shrieking, or even just like double Shrieking, I don't know if you do. I think it's gonna require a little more thinking than before. Because some essences don't really gain value when they go from Shrieking to Deafening. They don't gain that much value. And some gain a lot of value. And it's really going to depend on the essence. And you're going to have to know that. To know if it's worth it to corrupt. The Night Listen didn't change the outcome. Yeah, so the thing that made it so they didn't get released just replaced the outcome of them being released with an outcome of them doing nothing. But it didn't modify the beneficial rewards. I think I'm just not going to spec this and just not care. Like, maybe you grab travel nodes, maybe you don't. We'll see. Ireland's going to get some horror and lessons mobs. Yeah, I mean, it could be. But if there's 4 essences on it, 1 in 4 times you get all 4 Essence of Horror, and 3 out of 4 you lose your Essence of Horror, so it just evens out, right? Although there is one thing that could be really good. If it modifies all of the essences to 1 type, and those innate buffs and essences don't stack, this could make essences way easier to kill. Like, if you have like 5 essences and a monster and they're all the same type, maybe it's like the same as a 1 essence monster instead of being like 5 different ones that are just like vomiting lightning and fire and death everywhere. So like, maybe that'll be fun. We'll see. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe you just don't bother with that. Where did the essence thing move to? It's done here, and left side of the tree has so much more stuff now. Oh, it just gated me across. Oh, and got rid of all that stuff on the right. Holy tech, although I need both of these. Oh, and the gate's gone. Why is the... Wait. Isn't the gate still better? Am I crazy? It's not perfect? Oh, okay. Gate is gone. The 7th gate's gone in the middle, the gates aren't. I mean, I'm not surprised. Oh wait, I need to like block these. So it changes it. I'm not surprised that it's not perfect when gates are involved. This shit gets so complicated. You have all the crafts? Yeah, but like the purpose of gates is to travel around the tree. 7th gate in the middle was like a specific thing, or it was like, you know,
7th gate was pretty pog.
it was like, if you take all of these, you get the crafts. They just removed that part. The gates are still here for traveling around the tree, which is nice.
Damn, those are nice boots. Still kept res.
Alva at least
Like
starts
another
much.
setup there.
So Alva herself is not super useful at league start, but
Oh
like
lord.
having corrupts and stuff is nice. And the idea is basically, I want to see what a tree looks like that only has mechanics that you kind of just blast through. Yo, what's up? What are you doing? Thanks for the raid. You playing Post League? This league is weird. There's like so much like in-game changes that are going to kind of modify like how
Woody
the
Joe.
entire like end-game hyper min-max like stuff works. And we're going to get obliterated in hardcore by those T17 bosses. But like what I'm trying to do is like, obviously from a profit point of view, it's probably better to do the normal stuff like expedition, harvest,
So good, dude.
build
Look
your
at this
gear, go
fucking
farm sanctum
helmet.
and stuff. Like that's probably better.
I'm a
but
chiller.
I just want to see what a tree looks like. Only targeting mechanics that take minimal time, that are just about clear fast, no downtime, kill monster, and stuff.
Kill monster
And
stuff.
betrayal or Alva typically only adds, if your build's fast and you kill fast and you can like think fast and do the temple like management fast, it's like 5
Be
seconds per
fast.
incursion
Woody Joe.
to just like go in and build that. So you're spending like about what is that, 1 minute to spawn a temple? Maybe let's say 2 minutes if you're a bit slower on league start. Every other temple has like a corruption per minute. Like the time, think about the time value of that.
More speed. I can try
Like
Merc
when you're zooming,
Lab.
you're not gonna sell those rooms for
One
3
more
divines
level.
on day 1. But if you're already zooming, why not spend 10 points in 1 minute so that on day 2 you have like fucking 40 divines of double corrupts in your stash?
Yeah,
I'm heading home. Do you want anything?
food.
Food? Okay. Alright,
You
I'm
got,
going to
like-
make...
Value, yeah. Like
I
the
got like a
things
burger or
Alpha
something.
only go up in value as
Say
league
that
goes on.
again?
You just pick up like a burger
And
or
like
something.
they're not very
for me?
liquid early league, so if you
Oh.
need expensive things
Do you
early
want-
league,
yeah,
your
what do you
build
want?
will work.
Burger
You know,
King.
this is not a strategy to do for sure.
Like
do you want?
a Whopper
Just Alva's
or
cringe.
King
I'm not gonna disagree with
Whopper, Bacon Whopper, I don't know.
Don't want Dave's triple? This one
Curse
is
Fisher
right
can be
here,
claimed
right?
for valuable rewards, but doing so will lose time.
They have other option than
They're always
fries.
there.
Can I,
right?
like,
Contained
substitute?
treasure.
Can I substitute the fries for like chicken
I
strips
wonder
or
what this
something?
means. So valuable rewards is a phrase that's been used a lot in the past.
I'll
Do
do
you want
that.
Burger King
But
or do
it's
you want
not always
Wendy's?
Yeah, Wendy's is fine
So
with the
valuable
triple,
rewards-
base triple, or whatever.
At one point in time,
Alright, I'll
was
go
like
there and do
double
that
cryptid
then.
uniques,
Alright.
for example.
You don't want
I think that was
anything
from
to drink? What do you want
Metamorph.
to drink?
Valuable reward was like double cryptid uniques,
Diet.
which is like pretty
Diet Coke.
cool to get random double implicit uniques. It can
Okay,
be big
alright, not a
currency.
problem. I'll go there and get that done.
It could
Alright.
mean like rare div cards. There's a lot of things
Yeah,
it could mean. Like valuable rewards is like, I'm not really sure. We'll see. Orb of binding. It could be an orb of binding. Probably just rare items. We'll see. It's the kind of thing that could be neat. Like Val Temple chests? Could be. Exotic goods, bro. That's the one. Oh, that was the one I was thinking of. Oh, I forgot about how fun that. I'm doing it. I forgot, dude. Exotic goods was. Oh my god, it was so good. For those that didn't play in 313, exotic goods was a thing where it was like you added invasion bosses to your map, and they were given random and valuable rewards, which was very often a random 6-link, which was super good in like early league, or just like a exalt, or I remember like stacks of currency sometimes dropping. There were a lot of like random, just it was like a pinata every single time you killed the invasion boss of just fun stuff. That like 2 weeks into like software trade economy, probably not very useful, but like it was really fun in that league. 4 chaos, 1630 battles, yeah, just stuff. Yeah, 16 did suffer more back then, but even then, 20 fusings is kind of nice, like that. Early on.
An emperor must bear 2 blades, hope in the left.
This is kind of always what I run into when doing these like fast mapping atlases. It becomes like hard to find more points to spend. You can just do like the quad master setup, just to actually do all of it. Any burning questions for Neon?
All masters.
Ask if T17 maps are affected by your atlas. My intuition is no, but when looking at the text, like Valdo maps have this text. I don't have any in this account, but they have text at the bottom where it says like this zone is not affected by your atlas. And Blight maps don't have that text. Shaper maps don't have it either. So there's like a lot of different angles to it, like, so I'm not really sure. I think they're not going to, but I'd like to know, you know. So if you have time, please ask that one. I think that's it though. It's the only thing that I have thought about yet. Yo, what's up, Rax? Thanks for the raid. I got the double D4 raids today. The Woody Joe Rax combo. Try to get DD nerfed. I mean, you could ask if corpse stuff is like at a balance level that they feel like is appropriate, because it's dominated the low budget meta for like 2 years, and it eventually like gets outscaled. Like by like end of day 2 in software trade, there's usually better builds. By like end of the first week, there's better builds, but like there's nothing close to it on like low budget. It's just, you know, it's massive, and it's purely because of Desecrate. I think that's the important thing to ask about is Desecrate, because like Unearth is fine. If you're using Empower Enhance and like a influenced helmet, you're chilling, like that's fine. But Desecrate base numbers are just so high. Why Melee is still in the game? Bro, one of the better builds that I'm looking at right now for League Start is Melee. It's just dual strike of Ambidexterity Juggernaut, which basically is
Melee,
but
different. Melee with the new
it's
boss
all the same
fights.
everything, but it's like, it's pretty good.
You are relentless.
Yeah, it's just Bone Shatter, but like triple the DPS and a little worse clear, and like the same defense, basically. I'm excited. This new stuff is cool. The T17s are kind of breaking my brain because like I kind of, obviously it's new bosses, I want to fight them, but fighting them early means playing the best builds, means playing DD, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm kind of thinking about other like strategies that I can do to just not do that, you know.
Avoid the DD.
One thing I do kind of want to do this league, I want to do a Beacon of Madness build. Kinda. I think league starting that is probably ideal instead of doing it later.
Ritual.
Because the deeper I get into Trade League, the more I want to play very passive AFK brain builds where you just like one-shot everything. League starting what? Beacon of Madness. Have you seen these boots? So this is Degenerate Tech. But there's a version of Beacon of Madness that gives all damage, always poisons, like the Eater of World Boots, and full occultist pops. And you can get around the Embrace Madness downsides with the weapon swap tech that Dan used for Ralakesh. So like every 10 seconds you swap, turn it back on. Which like, that's not ideal gameplay, but like I've played Champ Adrenaline before, like it's the same thing kinda. And it gives you all damage, always poisons, which is busted, and like all damage always pops, and then that damage always poisons, and then you can prolift that with Pathfinder. Like, I watched a Penetrant Anticipation character put this on, and their character went from like this rat, like garbage mapping character, to screen-wide pops that just prolif and pop and prolif and pop and just kill everything instantly. Like, it's...
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without
it's crazy how strong this is.
entertained.
'Cause normally, if you have like Obliteration, for example, on like, let's say you're like Blade Vortex Pathfinder using Obliteration, you have like 40% global chance to poison,
Ability is
and then you have
alive.
some spell chance to poison. But this actually gives your pops always poisoning. Like, it's huge. It's huge. How rare are these? These are 1C. These are an item where you have to scroll down through the trade site to get someone to sell it to you. And also, POV is actually lying here.
It just Hut's different. All Pizza Hut favorites, all 50% off. For now.
For some reason, in POV. Anybody kind of the downsides? So there's two ways to counter the downsides. Well, three. One, stack 5,000% increase in buff exhibition effect, which is trash. Two, turn the skill off, and then turn it back on 8 seconds later. Because when you turn it off, you lose the debuffs, which is trash. Because that 8 second cooldown, you can't fight during it. Or three, if the boots are unequipped due to losing the stat requirements for them, the skill gets turned off and you lose the debuffs, but it doesn't go on cooldown. So if you have, let's say you have 149 strength without your main weapons on, and you have like strength on your shield, and you put a Immortal Call in these boots, max level, when you weapon swap, the boots will turn off because you no longer have stat requirements for the Immortal Call. And then you swap back, and you know, you're good. You once again have stat requirements and you're chilling. It turns off the Embrace Madness, it clears your debuffs, it doesn't put it on cooldown, you turn it back on, you play again. It's the exact same thing as Champ Adrenaline, where it was swap, CF, swap. Instead it's swap, swap, Embrace Madness. So it's like the same inputs, but like instead of gaining Adrenaline, you're gaining all damage can poison in the most powerful pops in the game, you know? Like, it's awful gameplay, and it probably will kill me, but like, pops.
Game Director on Path of Exile. In Path of Exile Necropolis, we have
Holy
added a Use
shit.
Portal Scroll keybind. This can be found on the Input tab of the Options menu. And as long as you have a Portal Scroll in your inventory, then this will
Divine
instantly
Orb.
open a portal to your
boys.
mission. We're
That's
looking
really
forward
nice.
to joining you playing.
But like, just do that. Like, I've done this like actually
The
probably
saturation,
10,000 times. You know, just do
is
that.
the bugged one? And in sequence after delay.
Ultimate persist unless their filtration? Nope. At least not when I last saw it tested and shown.
In sequence after delay.
Yeah, it removes the
What does
debuffs.
this one do? Saturation.
In the video that I saw that was showcasing that tech. It removed the debuffs. Alright, what else do we put on here? This is where it's like, what makes logical sense is to put on Delirium and Beyond. Like, those are two mechanics that, assuming your build is strong, don't have to slow you down very much as long as you're instantly killing everything. As long as you're strong. I'm not going to be strong on this kind of build in League Start, so I think I'll die if I do that. What year is this one? 2017! Bro, you're going back and back in time. Alright, what is it? Is that is that Wraith Lord?
Where'd I get the other life?
Giant Spane, weird Storm Treader boots, Poison Flask, Pillars. This is when they created Twilight Temple and the Cane of Unraveling.
Feeding Trove.
Poet's Pen. Why is Poet's Pen so big? Maybe because it looks so good.
You could have said, hey mom, I'm down here. You let me go upstairs knowing you were down here.
Chill, I'm streaming. I'm like a crazy
Will be
person.
any decent hardcore? I mean, that's entirely dependent on
crazy
whether or not
Sound like a crazy person.
there's like any spetters that are good.
Should be an easy skill point here. I'm trying to kill Katava.
I wonder how many scarabs we're gonna be getting. Also, there's all these like new nodes that I haven't like looked at too much. Like, what is this? Scarabs. So all these are just scarabs, right? Yeah. Thanks for the prime. Use someone to get 10 starters in pool. I don't know if it works. I'll have to test it later. Like, I tested if I could have 6 starters in my pool once. I summoned 6 unique ones. I went to my hideout. I couldn't see all of them in my corpse pool. I only saw 5. And I just, said fuck it. Seems like you can only get 5. Yo, wait, what are these? They removed these travel nodes. Oh man. I guess that wasn't the biggest deal. Most people didn't really mess around with them too much, and it was mainly a wandering path thing anyways. Scarab chick could be lucrative? I have no idea. Might be hard to sustain maps. Do Void Stones still give +1? Or is that gone? They don't? Huh. Huh. I mean, I'm pretty sure they showed a picture of a Void Stone, didn't they?
It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage.
Like, I
Let's
remember
get
seeing
Katava.
and
Let's go dive to
there
Katava
should
real
be
quick.
kind of proof.
I'll check passive after.
But if that is gone, yes, sustain will be a bit harder. And by that I mean, like, if you're running a two map combo with a good amount of favorites and you're running rare maps, you're still gonna be fine. But like, if you're trying to do blue map stuff like we do in like hardcore when we're cowards, you might need a few more of these points to sustain. No way to ever kill an Uber itself down. Well, Void Stones don't come from Ubers. Those come from T17s. Or no, from that's from before T17s, right? It's like, it's still Eater Exarch, and then it's Maven Uber Elder, and you don't have to do any T17s for those. So you're chilling. And then, you'll drop T17s, which we'll see how hard those are. Like, I've been looking at the bosses a bit more. Well, not literally. I've been thinking about them and watching them in my head. But, like, the Katarina fight, for example, like, it's just Katarina. It's Katarina that's a little stronger. And for like, Uhtred, it showed Uhtred And then during the ad phases, instead he spawns a boss instead of small ads. But the bosses that he spawns, assuming it's only the two non-main bosses, aren't that impactful. They're not that strong. So it's kind of just Uhtred and like some trash still. The heist boss was the heist boss, but there were like some lasers zapping him and his area was bigger. So like, obviously the numbers are going to be higher and the map mods are going to be crazy. The Katarina had abyss liches. It looked like, so Katarina in her fight has 4 totems in the corner of her fight that she has to destroy over the course of the fight to create area denial and like progress the fight further. She gets invulnerabilities until you like zap them. So in that fight, there's also 4 spires that are probably similar to her totems, but they'll probably do something different. Because in her fight, they're part of the arena and they like create this like these corners that are cut off and stuff. They do look more abyssal than like they did before. So, but I think it's gonna be similar, where it's like she goes to one and kills it or zaps it or empowers it or who knows what, and then something happens. But I don't think it's gonna be like Kurgle and like the Lich bosses from Abyss just like join the fight and start like fucking 4v1ing you. Like, I think it's still just Katarina with like a few different abilities, which maybe won't be that bad. We'll see. I think Uber is retarded than the current issue that has Tempest Remnant modifiers active. The thing with Remnants is there's one really important thing with Remnants. Choice. Choice. I can pick 15 Remnants that don't really add that much difficulty. Or I can pick 3 that guaranteed fucking kill me. If I pick Crit, Overwhelm, and like Cull, I'm dead. I'm super dead. But if I pick like, you know, immune to 4 ailments that I'm not doing, and poison immune and ignite immune, and like maybe 1 haste mod and like crit, but like I have Solaris, like you know, we're chilling, we're fine. The map mods on Valdo or not Valdo maps, on these 217 maps, you have no choice over. So I mean, you have the choice whether or not you put the map in, but like, you know, if you roll 400% physical with extra pen, and there's anything in the map that does physical damage as a base, unless your character's insane, you're probably gonna die. You know, Brutus is gonna hook you, and before he can even slam you, you're gonna die. Like some random monster's gonna glare in your direction, you're gonna explode. But then if you put in a different one that has like reflect and poison and like fizz DR and things that don't affect your build, it's probably gonna be easy. I don't think it's a map device mod, it's a scarab that removes either pierces or suffixes.
Holy shit.
Which is...
That's fucking
hopefully
close,
those are like... I mean, those aren't part of a trail, right?
Should be done here.
Just looking at the sheet, right? Maybe that's this? Do you think that's this? Influencing scarabs? Like Shaper... Is Shaper still here somewhere? Where's,
Get on with that.
I think that's Shaper and Elder.
8-hour campaign. It's like 2 hours.
I don't see them anywhere. So I think this is Shaper and Elder.
Longer than like what I used to do.
It is, or is it pushed with the icon? Okay, yeah. That makes sense to me. Voices are both. I'm not sure. I think they showed a picture of them in the preview somewhere, but I don't remember when they showed that. So I don't know where to look. Yeah, I mean, you can block a lot of different types of scarabs for sure. You can block a lot, and then you can also increase the odds of other ones. So there's definitely some.
I think that's it, boys. I can go to
Which is good. With that said, like, unless I'm playing Self-Found, I'm probably not farming my own scarabs.
So I gotta just pick these up.
Right? Like, that's not a thing. I'm just gonna buy them, or I'm gonna buy it, or I'm just gonna like drop scarabs and just swap them around. Usually. Why Necro instead of one button DD and quiz? Because it's better. Necro's just better. At least in like a league start environment. It's better defense, better offense, better speed, better area, better everything. Like you have to press 2 buttons instead of 1, but like that's fine. I'm here to play the game.
My res. Should have got my res. I can reroll this chest actually. A little bit. I need more res.
Okay, I think I finally understand this node. When I first read this, I pictured it as they have a chance to break free, and then you just fucking kill them, and he like necromancy nets them. But because it's per beast style rage, they can break free forever. And it doesn't say what like beast style rage does, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's increased haste and damage. I'm gonna say that probably. I can't wait for someone to have like a red beast just break free like 9 times in a row, and then a random archnim modifier from that red beast just one-shots them. It's just like a snowball falls from the sky, just one-shots them.
Okay, I think our character is ready for mapping.
I'm probably not gonna click this one on hardcore until we have more information on what it does. I really do want to though. If you're strong, beast makes sense. But like, I'm not gonna be strong
Guys,
early on.
head off.
I'm
Character's
thinking about
looking
doing
pretty
a
good.
Zoomer build that
We're
isn't
ready
DD.
for maps. Kept res. Definitely need a better bow.
Damn, I can't believe both of the
Anyways,
builds that I thought
we're
about doing
streamed
match
to
find out
the
got
full
nerfed.
button.